with the website instead of the actual app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to know my take.
Yeah, we
Go ahead.
kind of
I think
already
we're
talked. We kind of already talked
Cowboys
about
are
it at the
done for the
beginning.
season. Might as well look to next season if we
So-
want to make any kind of run.
So like let me ask Flo this question. So Flo, you're thinking that even if we went out, we finished as the number 2 seed, we finished as a number 2 seed, or even
Right.
the 5 seed, I feel that we can make a run, man.
We're done, man. I said it after the Bills game. If we don't win out, we're done. I had a bad feeling about that. I said if we can't win out, we're not going to make any kind of run.
I was gonna say, let me ask you this: is this kind
So
of
I mean, we could beat Detroit, we could lose to Detroit, we could win out. We could. I mean, Philadelphia could even lose the division. Even if we win the division somehow, we're done. We can't. If we can't win these last 3 games, we're done. That was just my feelings for it. I mean, I still root for my team.
Yeah.
I hope we win. I hope we win all these games, but I hope I'm wrong. But my thing was, if we can't win these last 3 games, we're done. So,
yeah, I was kind of on
that's
that
how I
same
feel
fence.
about the whole thing. But
I was kind of on that same fence too. Yeah, I'm still gonna root for the team as
I
well.
lost hope.
Yeah, I want to ask you something. Ken and I were talking about.
I can't. I gotta go with my head and my gut. My heart wants to root for him, but
I was gonna say, Ken and I were talking about this earlier
I feel like we're done.
the comments RG3 made that.
But hopefully I'm wrong. I've been wrong before,
Yeah.
a couple of times.
I mean, yeah.
We'll see.
Is it their mentality, kind of like what RG3's been saying? It's their mentality of the the
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you?
I can't hear you, Alan. Can you hear Alan?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
Oh, I don't hear him.
That's weird.
Yeah, I hear him. I can hear you good too.
I just can't hear him. Let me know what he says because I can't hear him.
I was gonna say,
for some reason
about the comments RG3 made earlier this week. Ken, you and I were talking about it. The why me mentality, whether it should be the why not me mentality.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing that we were talking about, Flo, is like the why me or why not me. Dallas is in their own way. I told you when we were in Dallas, man, it's either now or never, bro. Now or never. And I still got hope. I got faith, man. You brought me over to this foolishness, and you better not let me down. You brought me over to being a Dallas man, so you better go with your heart.
I'm done.
Go with you got to make up your mind on something, man.
I made up my mind. We're done. I'm a root hard for my team. I hope that I'm wrong, but I'm done. We're done. As far as I'm concerned, we're done.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. I hate to say it.
All right. So, Alan, can you go before we get into like the crux of the game, talking about the stats and all that, and talking about tonight's game? Can you explain the flow, like the scenarios that you kind of depicted, and how you depicted that Dallas could still have the potential?
If he could look in private chat, have him look in private chat. The question I sent him.
I don't know why I can't hear Alan. It's weird.
So you can't hear him at all?
No, I can hear you fine, but I just can't hear him.
He was like look in the private chat on your thoughts on the
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look in the chat then.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear you though, Alan. I hear you good, bro.
I just for some reason I just can't hear you. So Flo, thoughts on Dak's rumored contract?
He's potentially getting.
I haven't heard the rumor. What's the rumor? And I've given my thoughts.
He's potentially getting an extension soon.
What's the rumor?
Upwards of like 60 to 65 million.
So the rumors that are out, Flo, is 60 something $60 million. He'll be like one of the top 5 paid quarterbacks. And then, as Alan stated earlier, he thinks that there's going to be longevity with Dak Prescott.
They're talking right now, that kind of contract?
That could potentially be at the end of the year, yeah. Potentially at the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, potentially at the end of the year.
Wow. That's ridiculous. I mean, in my opinion. Dak's an aging quarterback. He's not getting – this is his best year. He might have one more good one, but we're going to have to pay some people or let some people go. The offense is going to get any better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we caveated on, like, Parsons want to get paid.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Diggs already got paid. But I'm saying, Pollard's on a what franchise tag? Are we going to franchise him again or let him go? I mean,
They're probably going to let him
he's
go.
the best running back we have, and he's not like an all-star, superstar. I don't know, man. I don't think you can pay Dak that.
Pollard might be let go.
I'd be, if we don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I say we let him go, man. We move on. Mm-hmm. That's what I say. Move on and go. Even if we got to start over, try and get a rookie. One of these, we got like 5 or 6 coming out this year, quarterbacks. We might could snag one of them. That are, yeah, huh?
You said another quarterback, a rookie quarterback
in the first round. Take one. Why not? I mean, and just you can use it leverage against Dak, so you don't have to pay him. I mean, has he got one more year on his contract? Do we know?
I think so. Think so. Maybe one.
Has he got 1 at least?
1 or 2.
Yeah, I say drop the quarterback, let him ride and let him see what he does next year, and let that rookie sit behind him. And if we don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm done with Dak.
Hey Flo, can you hear Allen now?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear Allen?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear him for some reason.
Yeah.
Gotta love audio.
I'm not sure why. You want me to jump out, jump back in?
Yeah, do that real quick. Yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll try to fix this. I could hear him just fine. I don't know why he couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I'm in agreement with him. Dak, I'm okay with him. Maybe he has 1 or 2 more years left. I would say go get a rookie too. Maybe not a first round rookie. I think if you're going first round pick, I think you go get linebacker. In my personal opinion, because I think
outside linebackers. Yeah, that's that.
I think you need an inside linebacker. I think you're going to get Overshawn Beck, but he's coming off an ACL, so he's not going to be 100%. Right. You're going to need that. You're going to need an inside enforcer in the middle because let's face it, Vander Esch's career is probably done. He's probably not coming back. I like Damone Clark a lot. He just doesn't have the speed. You're converting safeties to linebackers to gain a little bit more speed. Right. And I love Marquise Bell a lot. He just doesn't have that sideline to sideline speed that you expect from a linebacker. We need to find another Sean Lee. Really, is what we need to find.
Yeah.
No, I can't hear nobody.
Can't hear me either.
I can't hear nobody now.
Oh man.
Let me do it on the app. Let me just do it on the app.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean we can hear him just fine. I don't know why he can't hear us.
Yeah, so like most times when I go, I just copy and paste the link and just use it through the computer. I never use the app. The only time I've used the app is when I'm on my phone and I don't have my computer. I hate using the app. I prefer using a computer or a tablet or something like that where we can go through the phone. But man,
well, it wouldn't be like Flo said last week. It wouldn't be one of these shows if we didn't have technical difficulties.
Hey, I can hear y'all now. So
right,
there we go.
Right.
There we go. Yeah. So I was saying,
baby.
I was saying, I agree with you on the quarterback thing. I would wait until the second round to go get a quarterback because I think the biggest thing you need to address in round 1 is either offensive line or linebacker. Because we've seen Tyron's getting older. He's getting more injury prone. He's probably not going to be around much longer. So go get maybe a left guard or a left tackle, or go try to find you another Sean Lee at linebacker.
Here's the only reason I disagree. What's more important, the quarterback or the offensive line? It's close.
I mean, you need a good quarterback, and we've seen that this year.
And we'll have a young one. And he can run around a little bit until we get another offensive lineman.
My question is, though, are they going to go get another quarterback, or are they going to be like,
they won't, well, but I'm saying we
still have Trey Lance. We still have Trey Lance. That's the thing.
I mean, we could have him compete with the rookie and see who's better. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, bring the rookie in and see, get a first-round rookie. He's on a rookie deal.
Now, do you hold on to Cooper Rush, or you get rid of Cooper Rush?
See, I think Cooper, if he doesn't re-sign with Dallas, I think he goes to the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, let him go. If he's too much, let him go. If as a backup, let him go. I mean, it's gonna be some kind of rebuild at quarterback anyway. if we don't re-sign Dak.
Mhm.
And hey, Dak, you got 1 year to prove yourself. Hey, we want to go to the Super Bowl next year. If you don't need to take us
Man.
to, set some
and
expectations.
and it's a favorable schedule. It's a favorable schedule because you got the NFC South.
Right.
You're gonna have either, if we finish second, you're either gonna have the Rams or the Seahawks, which
Right.
who knows what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
You're gonna have either the Vikings or the Packers. Those two teams are in decline,
Right.
Unless Kirk Cousins re-signs with Minnesota, in which case you
I
never
don't
know.
think so.
And
Yeah.
then you're getting an AFC South team as your 18th game, which in this case would be whoever finishes second out of the Texans, the Colts, or the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's true.
that's really, you're going to have a very, very favorable schedule next year. So
Yeah.
it's like, it definitely is a prove-it year if you look at it.
Yeah, it is. I had to put the star back there because I'm still a fan. Show the star.
So here's the thing.
But
here's
I'm
the thing,
hurting.
guys.
I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting.
So here's the thing, man. So you guys think that if Dak doesn't do it this year, he does it next. So what if he has a spectacular season next year? Do you cut him a long-term deal?
If he has a better year than he did this year, sure, cut him a 3 or 4 year deal. And if he doesn't take it, man, let him go. Hey, we start over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said.
Right now,
he's not getting any younger.
I was going to say.
Look at Russ. He went downhill fast. I mean, look at some of these quarterbacks. They hit their mid-30s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To your point, Flo, Dak is the longest tenured quarterback in the NFL right now.
Right now,
as far as being on the same team, he's the longest tenured quarterback right now.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, you got to cut your losses at some point. I mean, I like Dak. He's a good guy. He represented the organization well. His character, and he's a good person. I mean, I'm willing to give him a chance.
You gotta win, man. You got.
If he wants big money, he's got to take us somewhere. I mean, I'm not a big quarterback win guy, but you got to at least not be the reason we lose. And it seems like every year in the playoffs, he's part of the reason we lose. Something falling short.
You know what? He's starting to kind of remind me a little bit of what Dan Marino was. Not like, in terms of stature of how legendary Dan Marino was, but to the fact that, he would always come up, one game short, or couldn't quite win the big one.
But here's the thing about, to be fair, I think Dak's always had most of his career a better talent than Dan Marino has on offense. He's always had Amari Cooper is solid. Look at him now. He just had 265 yards the other day.
Yeah,
Amari Cooper's capable of those kind of games. He has CeeDee Lamb now. He had Dez Bryant at first. I mean, he's always had great receivers.
It's the mentality, and it's like, we were talking about it earlier. What RG3 said earlier this week. It's that mentality they have of why me. If they just change their mentality to why not me, let's go out there and kick some ass.
Right.
Maybe this is a different Dallas team.
Right. Yeah, and for some reason, and maybe it's coaching. For some reason, they don't have that mentality on the road, and maybe we could chalk that up to McCarthy's not getting them ready. So part of me wants us to just be 0 and done in the playoffs, and then we fire McCarthy, we get Jim Harbaugh or something. Go do something like that. Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh would be great. I mean, he's only good for about 4 or 5, 6 years, and then he kind of wears on you. But man, he might could get us to the next level. I don't know.
You really need that coach. We haven't had that type of coach since Jimmy Johnson, really.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we had it with Bill. We had it with Parcells. We had it with Parcells. It's just Jerry wouldn't let Parcells take the control of the team like he should have.
Yeah. That's true.
You really haven't, and it's fitting that we talk about Jimmy Johnson because tonight
he's going to
get goes into the Ring of Honor.
That's the only reason I think we win.
You can't give up hope, man. You can't give up hope, Flo, because you're getting inducted.
I'm rooting for my team, Ken. I'm rooting for my team, man.
That's why I think they win. That's why I think they win.
Yeah,
it's because of Jimmy Johnson.
We had to win Miami, Detroit, Washington. That was my stipulation for us making a run. Once we lost to the Bills, you're like, man, we got to make a run going into the playoffs, or we are done. We cannot lose one of these last 3 games and limp into the playoffs. That's how I feel. We're limping to the playoffs. Maybe we beat
No.
Detroit. We're inspired at home, and then we beat Washington. But I feel like we're limping into the playoffs. If we'd have won our last 3, I feel like we'd be going in on a high. We'd be going in, motivated. Hey, we're winning a 3-game win streak. I just feel like it's just a better feeling than losing 3 games in a row and then winning our last 2. One of them's, a gimme, basically.
Well, and then of course injuries are playing a factor in that as well. With Tyron being out the last 2 games,
Right.
I did not like what I saw from McDoba last week when he, decided to block in instead of
But
blocking.
to be
Bradley
fair,
Chubb.
Tyrone's been like that the last 2 or 3 years. He's been in and out of the lineup, so we should be kind of used to that in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he is questionable tonight, so we might see him back. Rico's out, as we kind of talked about earlier. Rico Dowdle's out, so that means Deuce Vaughn is going to get number 2 carries tonight.
I mean, why hasn't he gotten carries to this point? That's my problem. If he hasn't gotten carries to this point, there's a reason. Either he's not getting the play.
Efficient enough, or
I don't know what it is. Why hadn't he gotten? He hasn't gotten almost nothing, unless it was some kind of garbage time.
Season. Well, I think it's because that Rico got hot a little bit, and they thought that they were going to get that 1-2 with him and Pollard again. But
if Deuce was showing something in practice or something, we would have seen something. We would have tried to get him on the field.
Let me ask you this real quick. Had Hunter Lipke not fumbled that ball, do they use him more in that Miami game?
I think so. Yep. I think they do use him.
Had he got that touchdown, they use Lipke.
I mean, there's a reason they brought him in. They probably had seen something in practice. Except he went out there and choked and fumbled it, or maybe you can put a little bit on that.
He had that big game in the 3rd preseason game where he kind of broke out a little bit.
Right. I mean, I feel like he showed flashes, and so he must be showing that in practice. If you're trying to put him out there, I just feel like Deuce hasn't shown anything, or they would have tried to put him out there, even if it's on some gadget play or something. They would have tried to at least give him a few plays a game, maybe 1 or 2 plays a game, if he had shown stuff in practice. So that's my only thing with Deuce is he obviously hasn't shown a lot in practice, or they would have tried to get him out there, even with Dowdle looking pretty good, in some of those games.
Because it's obvious the running game is not working.
Right.
And there are talks that maybe Dallas goes and gets a running back in the draft or something like that. Maybe later on.
They don't need one. I think that would be a huge mistake.
If you get one, I say get him in the 3rd round. Get a good third. You can get a pretty decent running back in the 3rd, 4th round.
Yeah, I was going to say,
don't go out there in the 2nd round and waste a pick on a running back.
I was going to say, Guy, your guy from Texas Tech, Flo.
Yeah, he would work, but he's coming back next year.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, he said he's coming back for his senior year.
Or the kid from Texas is another guy.
Yeah.
That I would like.
Is he coming out?
I think so. I think he's coming.
I mean,
he's coming off a season-ending injury though. So.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
But they got stable at Texas, so. I would say the guy from Texas Tech, but he's coming back next year, so maybe next year we pick him up. I don't know, because he's not going to be a high because he's playing for Tech unless they have a great year and. Make some kind of weird run.
See, I was thinking all these guys were going to come out. All of a sudden, they're all just entering the transfer portal, and I'm like, "What the fuck, y'all?" like Sawchuk, our running back, is going in the transfer portal. I think he finally found another team today. So, and then you mentioned, your running back's coming back for another year. Who knows what the Texas kid, what his legs are like. I mean, you'll probably get Blake Corum or Dylan Edwards out of Michigan. Maybe, I'm not sure. What are any Georgia guys coming out, Flo, or are they still back for another year? Or
Man, a lot of guys jumped into the transfer portal, man. A lot of guys jumped in the portal. I'm hoping that McConkey, the tight end, I hope he comes back. But a lot of the guys jumped into the portal.
Is your tight end leaving?
Are going to
Bowers is going to the draft. I know that for sure.
Bowers,
Oh, okay, he is for sure.
A lot of the guys, man, they're
I think Bowers is the top rated tight end on the board.
Yeah, Bowers is. Yeah. This is such a disgrace to watch right now.
A disgrace.
Georgia, Florida State.
I told you we should have been in the playoff. I told you.
Yeah, Taj Brooks. I couldn't remember his name for some reason. Yeah, Taj Brooks.
Taj Brooks.
Yeah, yeah, he's coming back next year. But
That would be a kid to watch for years
well,
to come.
but you knew Florida State wasn't going to do well without their. They don't have. I think they're on their third string quarterback or something.
Yeah,
But
they,
now
they had a lot of guys sitting out due protesting this game anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. So I mean,
but everybody want to make that excuse and look Georgia putting up numbers. We putting up numbers. We should have been in there.
let me throw this out there.
Should have been.
Let me throw this out there. We mentioned talking about potentially drafting a quarterback. Right. I know he's probably not going to be ready next year, but if you're keeping Dak, why not go get Jordan Travis to be your backup?
Jordan Travis,
the Florida State quarterback. The kid that got hurt is the reason. And the reason why
draft is he going to the draft?
I think so. I think he's going to the draft this year.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, it's going to have to be the same situation that Hendon Hooker's in right now in Detroit. You're going to have to let him rest for at least a year because of his injury. But,
I mean, who do we get? Because it looks like what's his name from USC is going first.
Yeah. Caleb's going first, definitely. I think the first three picks are probably going to be quarterback, it looks like.
But I'm saying the first two quarterbacks taken from some of the mock drafts is Drake May comes second, and then everybody's taking Jaden Daniels. Maybe we have a shot at Michael Penix or somebody, or Bo Nix or somebody like that in the first round. I think we take a fly on one of those guys.
I would take Michael Penix. I would be happy with Michael Penix.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen him in the first. Some of these mock drafts don't even have him going in the first round.
Plus, other than Tua, you rarely see left-handed quarterbacks, and he's a really solid left-handed quarterback.
Right, that's on. Take a fly on Michael Penix at the end of the first round or something.
He's a pretty solid kid. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a solid kid.
Yeah.
He's shown, he's mature. He's not he's probably ready to play right away, but we can let him sit behind Dak a year, let him learn, see what he shows in practice.
If we finish like you say how we are, Flo, we finish with like a top 20, like they say 24.
Yeah.
You trade back, get more draft capital, maybe trade back to 30, draft Michael Penix there.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of these mock drafts don't have him in the first round. A lot of them. A few do, but some of them don't. Some of them they're taking Jaden Daniels as the third pick, and then a lot of these teams don't need a quarterback after those 3 picks go.
See, they have Washington taking a quarterback. I don't think they need one.
I don't think they do either.
I think they're fine at quarterback. I think
it all depends, who comes in, right? It all depends.
And it also depends because, like you said, we got Russell Wilson, who's going to be leaving Denver. We've got other guys who are going to be on the move.
Sorry, Jake.
So you're gonna.
Where does he end up at though? I know this is off topic. I know we're talking football in general. I say it ends up in New Orleans or Atlanta.
I mean, Atlanta wouldn't be a bad spot. But then again, there's also the factor is Chicago going to trade Justin Fields? Because if they do that means they're going Caleb Williams, pick 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most mock drafts have him going 1 to the Bears, unless they for some reason decide to trade him. But I mean, like you said, if they're taking Caleb Williams, they're going to trade Justin Fields, or vice versa. If they trade away that first pick, they're going to keep Justin Fields. You gotta have a couple dominoes to fall first, to really know where Russell may end up.
I was going to say, put Russell Wilson with a veteran head coach like Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thought. Pittsburgh could be a good spot for him.
Good for him, yeah.
People were saying Pittsburgh or Washington. I don't know. Maybe Atlanta.
I think he only goes to Washington if Jim Harbaugh goes to Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That'd be good.
But I don't see him going to. It seems like people are pointing to the Chargers for Jim Harbaugh.
Either the Chargers or the Raiders.
Yeah.
Although I think Pierce stays with the Raiders. I think he's earned that job after what he's done with
Yeah, but Mark Davis?
Yeah, like Al Davis before him, he's not good at keeping interim.
Well, and he likes to make a splash on at coach. He likes to go for the big names.
I think what helped Antonio Pierce's case is that they actually beat Kansas City last week.
Right. Christmas,
Had they not beaten Kansas City, I don't think he gets that job.
I don't think it helps him unless he gets in the playoffs and wins a game or two. I don't think
They can
keep him.
still win the division.
That's what I'm saying. If they make the playoffs and he wins a game at least, maybe he keeps that job. But if they don't make the playoffs, I doubt they keep him. I don't care what he did in the regular season. If somehow they sneak into the playoffs and win a game, that's the only way I feel like he keeps that job.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of his history. He likes to make a splash play. If he goes in and they make the playoffs, considering how everything started, considering how the coach was fired and all that, and then he comes in, leads them to the playoffs, and a victory in the playoffs, yeah, I think they keep him after that. But other than that, I think he goes. I don't know who he gets, but he goes for some kind of big name, or maybe he brings Gruden back. I don't know.
I know there's a lot of people that want Gruden back in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
maybe Gruden goes to Washington. Maybe we get John Gruden in Washington.
Maybe.
How ironic would that be?
Yeah, really.
Dan Snyder's the main reason why John Gruden got fired in the first place, and then John Gruden ends up in Washington.
Yeah,
that would be cruel irony there,
wouldn't it? Yeah.
I'm curious, and I say this every Wednesday, and I'll shout out to Jay, my boy Jay from the Rec Room. I know he's disheartened with his team right now. Washington's in a really good spot. New ownership. You don't know what they're gonna
laugh track.
I mean, pretty much. I mean,
they're in a really good spot.
You got new ownership that has a winning mentality. I think the first thing they really have to do is get a new stadium because for Christ's sake, FedEx Field is awful. They need a new stadium.
Well, I mean, even if they get one, it's going to be a few years before they can move in.
That's true.
Yeah, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 years before they can get into a new stadium. I mean, for the future that would be good, but I mean, how does that help you next year or 2 years from now? Yeah.
That's going to be one of their main focal points is what do we do about a new stadium? Of course, they also got to do coaching situation. Let's face it, Ron Rivera's out. Let's just say it how it is. Ron Rivera's out. He's gone.
But they're not gonna move Bieniemy up. They're not gonna give him a head coaching job, man. It's just
I don't even know if they keep Bieniemy. I don't even know if they keep Bieniemy or not.
I mean, some were saying maybe they bring once the season's over, they bring Bieniemy to the Chiefs to help, get them a playoff run.
It would be smooth.
Who knows?
That's what some were saying.
I mean, how crazy is it that we can all feel that the Chiefs could be one and done in the postseason? That's
I think it's toast, man.
Because right now it looks like they could be playing the hottest team in the league right now, and that's the Buffalo Bills. If the season ended today, I don't know.
Are they really that hot? They almost lost to the Chargers.
That is true.
I mean, to me, the hottest team is the Browns, and I said this on our show. The Browns are the most dangerous team. Outside of the top ones that we think of, Miami, Kansas City, and the Ravens, and those. I think the Browns are the most dangerous team. They're the ones that could be a surprise team.
Their defense is good, and
how crazy would this scenario be? Ravens lose to Miami and Pittsburgh the next 2 weeks. Miami gets beat by Buffalo week 18. Cleveland wins out. They have home field advantage throughout the postseason. What's even crazier?
And they meet the Ravens in the AFC Championship.
Well, you know what's even crazy? How crazy would it be if both Detroit and Cleveland had home field advantage throughout the postseason?
Can you imagine if the Browns and the Lions met in the Super Bowl? What a disaster for the NFL. They would hate that.
Yeah. Oh, the NFL would hate it. The fans would love it.
The fan would be, it'd be great for the fans.
Finally, these two teams that have been snake bitten for years.
Yeah.
We're taking this back to the 50s, y'all. These were the two best teams in the 50s.
That's crazy. Yeah. But I could see the Rams and the Browns being the two dangerous teams that are outside of the top four.
Rams, yeah.
The Rams and the Browns could be dangerous teams, maybe even get to the championship game, in their conference.
Let me ask you this, Flo. With the way Philadelphia is playing right now, even if they win the division, are they in trouble of being one and done also? Because whoever that 7th seed is, whether it's the Rams, the Packers, or the Vikings, I feel Rams, Packers, or the Seahawks, I think they can go into Philly and win.
I think so too. I think minus maybe the Saints. I just feel like the Rams on offense are playing really well. Their defensive line is solid. and that's what helped them.
Ever since Kyron Williams came back, the Rams have been a whole different offense.
Well, and then to be fair, Stafford's healthy, and he's slowly getting Cooper Kupp back, and then Puka came and was a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Came in there, really filled in for where Kupp was not able, when he was injured early on in the season, and Stafford was a little banged up, and remember he was banged up after the Dallas game, but once he kind of got back healthy, and they started really making a run. And I said there would be a playoff team at the beginning of the season, and I think all of y'all picked against me in our
and a healthy Kyron Williams, like I said, that adds a running game element that they didn't have at the beginning of the year too.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a dangerous team I don't want to face.
I wouldn't want
the NFC. If I'm any team in the NFC, even San Francisco, I would not want to face the Rams right now.
Yeah, and the Vikings, I think, just because they've been able to do it almost like the Browns with whoever's at quarterback. Brian Flores has that defense playing a lot better than last year. I feel if Kirk Cousins was able to stay healthy, they could really be a threat. They could have been a threat.
If Nick Mullins doesn't throw 4 picks in that game against Detroit, they win that game.
That's what I'm saying. I think if Kirk Cousins stays healthy, with the way that Brian Flores has that defense getting better and better every week, I feel that they'd be in the hunt for the NFC. Mm-hmm. If you keep Kirk Cousins healthy, but unfortunately,
there's talks in Minnesota that they might keep him. I know Justin Jefferson is going to be lobbying to keep Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
I think they keep him, but he has to probably give him a team-friendly deal. I think if Kirk Cousins is willing to do a team-friendly deal, maybe in the $30 million range per year, I think they could work a deal and keep him. I mean, because where is Kirk Cousins going to get $30+ million? I don't think anybody's
not from another organization. Nobody else is going to pay him that.
I mean, someone might give him $20-something million. I mean,
other than that,
but I think if Kirk can be kind of team-friendly, they can make a run next year.
I was going to say, you get a healthy Minnesota offense with Cousins back, that defense
and the defense playing better,
and go get you a running back, either in free agency or in the draft. You got a really good team there in Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota could be dangerous next year if he comes fully healthy. There's no ill effects from the Achilles. You just never know with that how it heals up. Mm-hmm. But if he comes back fairly 100%, Kurt's 90% of what he was, I think they could be dangerous next year. Mm-hmm. What about the Cowboys? Let's talk Cowboys, man.
Let's talk Cowboys. This is a Cowboy show. We're going off on a playoff tangent here. Since we're about an hour in, and we got about an hour till the game starts anyway. Let's kind of get into the preview for this game. Flo, I'll start with you. Who are some cats in Detroit to kind of keep an eye on as far as this game tonight? On the opposing side, I should say.
On either side of the ball, or
it doesn't matter. Who's the key player that the Cowboys should focus on, whether it's offense or defense?
I mean, you would think, because we've had struggles with the running game, it might be the run, on the running backs, trying to stop the run. But I think in this kind of game, I think you disrupt Goff. Whatever you got to do, when you get Goff off his mark, when you get him pressured and kind of skittish, that's when he struggles. If you've seen the games that he's struggled in where Detroit has either lost, or it's been really close or tight, that's when Goff has gotten kind of, he's been kind of rattled a little bit. So I say if we got to rattle Goff early and often, if we can do that, I think we have a good chance of turning this, running away with this one. But you have to I think that's the key to this game is get Goff off his spot. Don't let him get comfortable back there. Even if they run the ball, get a couple of gash runs, they're not going to keep running it. And maybe we kind of bring some people up. But as long as we're getting pressure on Goff early and often, I think that's the key to winning this game and maybe turning it into some kind of a runaway game.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me.
Detroit, who's the guy to focus on?
I mean, Flo just covered it all. Goff, man. Contain Goff, man. Keep Goff where he needs to be, man, and bring pressure off the defensive line to the offense, man, because their offensive line is pretty solid, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Bring that front four from the defense, the linebackers, everybody else, and then just contain Goff. I mean, if we contain Goff, then he's going to be ineffective where he can't give the ball to Montgomery to run the ball, or he can't give the ball to to Jahmyr Gibbs and pass to him more. He can't even pass the ball to St. Brown. Those key weapons they got on offense. So if we contain him, I think that'll be the crux of the game, containing Jared Goff, man.
Yeah, maybe get some corner blitzes, some kind of just scheme up some blitzes that are kind of not your regular typical blitzes that maybe they do, and that way he doesn't see it coming maybe, and you get a couple of big sacks, you get him rattled early, and then once you get a quarterback like especially like Goff, you get him rattled early. I feel like he gets a little skittish and he starts seeing pressure, and I think that's where you got to rattle him early. And that's I don't know how they scheme it up, but we just got to get to him somehow. It doesn't have to be Micah. It can be like a corner blitz or whatever, things like that, just to
Right.
get him rattled, get him off his spot, and get him moving around where he's a little shaky up at the beginning. You can't let him get comfortable early. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Dan Quinn calls more zone schemes tonight, like he did against Miami with a guy who's a good route runner in St. Brown, and of course you've got Sam Laporta, who's been a great rookie tight end for them this year?
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, as long as you can blitz off of that, do a zone blitz, and so every now and then change it up so he doesn't see the same thing. I just feel like pressure early for Goff is really the key to this game. Pressure early, even if they gash us a couple times in the run, as long as we get him just rattled early, I think that's the key to this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you guys went for their offense, I'm going to go on their defensive side, and it all comes down to really the injury tonight. If Tyron Smith is healthy, that's going to be key for the offense. And also Terrence Steele on the other side. Of course, you kind of know who I'm getting at with this. Aiden Hutchinson, don't let him take over the game, because if he gets going, he's kind of like Micah in a way. If he gets going, it's hard to stop him. So I think the tackles are in for a big thing. I hope to God it's not Igdoba tonight after what I saw from him against Miami last week. I hope Tyron's able to go tonight, because I think that gives us a much better chance at blocking Aiden Hutchinson a little bit. Just don't let Aiden Hutchinson get to Dak Prescott. Give Dak time in the pocket to see his reads, make the good throws, and get the offense going. So
I don't know if you can see that sunset back there, but
Yeah, it's nice, man.
it's a nice little skyline there. That's awesome.
yeah. It's
Again,
nice.
I miss Lubbock sometimes. I have family down there, so
Yeah.
I need to get back down there at some point. Flo knocking stuff over. All right, so now let's switch over to our side, the Cowboys. Who are some of the key players to Ken, I'll start with you this time. Who are some of the key players to watch for our side tonight?
I think Prescott. I'm kind of worried about the running game, man. When you said Dowdle, and you said what's the name, got hurt, right, or injured or something like that. Right?
Dowdle's out tonight.
So they're bringing in this other guy. Who was it?
Deuce Vaughn, the rookie.
Yeah,
rookie Vaughn.
I got a question mark with him, but I think for us on offense, I think Prescott should have a great game if our defense holds up and contains the lines like they need to, and I think CeeDee Lamb may have a runaway game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think we're gonna run away with the game. This is what we've been waiting on for quite some time. Jimmy Johnson getting the Ring of Honor. I think the Cowboys gonna run away with this game.
Flo?
Deuce Vaughn, you're getting your shot. Make something happen. Yeah. That's what I say. Deuce Vaughn is again. If we're gonna run away with this game, Deuce Vaughn has to make a couple of big plays. Whether he runs, for a long run, or does something, has a bunch of gas runs where he gashes them for 15, 20, 30 yards here and there. But Deuce needs to show up in this game. He's a rookie. You're getting your chance. Make something happen in this game, and you'll get more chances, because sometimes in practice, it doesn't show. But when you get your chance and you go out there and you're able to perform in real game, live game, touches, I think that you might be, maybe Deuce comes out and is that guy that adds that extra spark to the run game, extra spark to the offense. And I think Deuce may be a key in this game, especially if we're going to run away with this one.
Mm-hmm. And like we've been preaching for Dak for a majority of the season, run the ball, Run out of the pocket. Don't stay in the pocket all game. Get out of the pocket.
Roll left, roll
use
right.
Your leg.
Just don't stay in the pocket. Just roll left or right and make something
happen. Use your
legs.
He needs to use his legs, and we need to limit him to 30 or so, 30, 31, 32 attempts. If he's throwing the ball too much, that always spells trouble for us, no matter what's going on in the game. I know he's done it a couple times where he's got in the high 30s and we've won the game still, but some of those were blowouts. And so I just feel like Deuce has to add that extra spark. And if he's able to do that in his chance to come in here and get some more touches, I think that's going to be key to sparking the offense and maybe, running away with this one.
For me, I'm going to say the tight end. I'm going to say Jake Ferguson could have a big game tonight.
Haven't we been saying that the last 3 games?
Yeah.
I'm not touching Ferguson no more.
It just seems like with Laporta on the other side, who's been a phenomenal tight end this year for them, this could be a big tight end matchup tonight between him and Ferguson.
I'm done with Ferguson.
But other than that, you got to get 88 the ball. I mean, he's 3 catches away from breaking Michael Irvin's single season record, something like that.
It's crazy. I mean, they gave him touches early, and then they went away from him the last game. I don't get it.
He only got 1 touch in the fourth quarter. It's like you got to get CeeDee Lamb the football early and often. He has to have
and often.
If he doesn't get 12 catches in tonight's game, I will be upset.
Yeah,
I think
in a close game, even late and often, you got to be getting him the ball.
And Michael has even said, because there was the controversy that the reason why we wasn't getting the ball, they don't want him to pass Michael's record, and it's like, well, even Michael has said, give him the goddamn ball. Get 80. There's a reason why you gave him number 88. There's a reason why, he is the star player that he is. Give him the goddamn ball.
I wouldn't put it that way, but yes, give him the ball.
Right now, 88 is your best player on this team without a shadow of a doubt.
Use him.
88 is the best player.
He's your best skill player.
Other than maybe Zach Martin, he's the best player on this team.
Well, he's your best skill player on the team. Yeah, for sure.
88 the ball. That has to be the summary of the night. Get 88 the ball. And I'm sure Jimmy Johnson would say the same thing.
And the only reason you don't give it to him late and often is if it's a blowout. That's the only reason you don't keep giving him the ball in the third or fourth quarter. Is this is a complete blowout.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably see guys like Brandon Cooks or, yes, even Jake Ferguson have big games, but the guy who has to have the biggest game is 88. It has to be CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I agree.
Score predictions before we get out of here, folks.
Go ahead, Karen. I'm still thinking.
Man, I'm going to go Ring of Honor. Dak has a great game. I think CeeDee Lamb has a great game. Let's see what Deuce Vaughn is all about. I think our defense holds up. I'm going to go 34-20. Dallas.
Dak Prescott is 6-0 against the Detroit Lions throughout his career. I think it continues tonight. I think it's set. They go 7-0. Dak goes 7-0 against Detroit. I don't think it's going to be quite a blowout because I think Detroit's a lot better than people give them credit for. I'm going to say 34-27. Dallas wins at home in honor of Jimmy Johnson with him going in the Ring of Honor. The Cowboys have to win tonight, I feel.
What was your score, Ken?
34-20.
Okay.
And I said 34-27.
That's fair. I feel this is a classic letdown game for the Lions. They just showed up the division. I think they got a big game next week.
They got Minnesota next week, I think.
Yeah,
next
Minnesota game. So this is a classic letdown game for the Lions. I feel this could get away from them early. If we get to golf early, if Deuce adds an extra little spark, an extra little something in the offense.
Because if we beat them tonight, they're out of the number 1 seed race. It would then be down to San Francisco, Philly, and us.
To be fair, the way we played at home has been really great, and so I expect us, just like Philly has struggled with every team almost that they played. They haven't really blown out anybody, even though people.
And really, the last 2 times we've gotten challenged at home, we still came out and won. So
that's what, yeah. And so most of the time we really do well at home, and we are who we are at this point in the season. I don't expect us to change a whole lot. So I expect us to get out there and play well on offense. Somehow, I don't know why the defense even plays better at home. A lot of times they get more turnovers at home. It seems like get more pressure at home. So I feel like because we're going to knock Goff off his spot, I feel like Deuce may add a couple big plays, and hopefully CD comes out there and plays well. Dak needs kind of a bounce back game to, just to make them feel better about themselves after losing a close one to the Dolphins, and come home and have a big game. This might be something. I hate to score. I don't want to go 34 because I've gone 34, and every time I say 34, we lose. So I'm gonna go something crazy like 38-17, something like that. And and we just put it on them 38-17. They get a late touchdown, make it look respectable, and that's it. Is what it is. But again, whether we win or lose, tie, we're not doing anything in the playoffs, so it don't really matter.
And
No
I
faith.
believe,
No faith, man.
Sorry,
I
Cam.
believe I just got the breaking news. Tyron Smith will play tonight. He is active tonight, so
That's
that's
positive.
that's a huge boost for the offensive line. So
That's
we
true.
will
That's
have
true.
Tyron Smith tonight. Gentlemen, where could the people find you at? And what you guys got coming up?
They can find us at the Bottom Line Sports on any of our the platforms that you see: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, on my Facebook, on our the Bottom Line Sports Facebook page. We're up to about 1,440 members. You can find us on YouTube as well. Usually we're up on Sundays. I don't know if we're gonna have a show tomorrow, but usually we have a Sunday wrap up show on Sundays.
I was
Right
gonna
as
say, Flo, if you need me tomorrow, I
right.
got you. I got you.
Okay.
I ain't gonna be
Yeah.
doing it. I ain't gonna be doing anything tomorrow. So if you need me, I
Okay.
got you.
Okay, I'll send you the link. Some of my guys are bowing out, but we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna be tied
Uh,
up, bro.
okay, whatever. All right, but anyway, we might do a show tomorrow, but usually we come on Sundays in between, at the end of the afternoon games, right before the Sunday night football game. We wrap up the NFL weekend, whatever happened that weekend. And then Tuesdays we have our regular show where we talk more NBA, baseball.
Tuesday's gonna
Tuesdays
be
at
epic.
6, at
This
6
Tuesday's gonna be
Central.
crazy.
So yeah, that's where you find us. Look for us, me, Can, Omar, the sports professor, and of course Hot Take Jake. If you've never seen him, he's something to see. You got to check him out. But that's where you can find us every
Man,
week.
I can't wait till the show where you have both Carlos and Jake on at the same time. That
I
you
know.
want to talk about hot takes? That's gonna be
Oh
crazy.
man, that would be crazy. I,
Uh,
I, I can't wait to talk to Jake again after Russell Wilson has gotten benched.
oh,
He was
I
pretty
don't.
depressed last week after their loss to the Patriots. I said, "Don't lose to the Patriots," and that's what they did. It was
Good
hilarious,
loss.
but
Mm,
I almost felt bad for him, almost,
almost. Almost.
but not quite.
Well, for me, you can find me all over 8LTS. You find me at April30 on X. No Sunday
I
night
said Twitter, right? It's X now, huh?
Twitter X, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They like changing it now. They might change it here in the next month or so. Who knows? No post game shows tomorrow. No, nothing for LTS. No Sunday night post game show tomorrow. I think they will do the LTS show tomorrow morning, so definitely check that out. Me, no show on Monday. Tuesday, we'll have the baseball show back again. We'll talk about some of the big signings. Of course, Chris Sale got traded to the Braves today.
Whoa.
So that's an interesting little thing that happened today. We'll also be talking more about Yamamoto signing with the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, and a bunch of other stuff that has happened in the world of baseball the last few weeks. NFC East Roundtable with myself, the man who's in the comments, Mr. Carlos Chavez, Chris, and we also got Jay from Rec Room. We'll be talking NFC East football, also previewing Washington, Dallas, and of course we'll preview Washington, Dallas next week on this show, next Saturday. So, final game, guys. We're at the end of the season. It's been a wild and crazy year, but then again, the whole NFL has been wild and crazy. I mean, Joe Flacco's leading the Browns. Joe Flacco's leading the Browns to the playoffs. Okay,
Who would have thought? He was on his couch like 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever it is.
Chilling.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
straight off the couch is what they say.
Yeah. All right.
But word. Any last word? Oh, always the last word. Let's go Cowboys. How about
Cowboys,
that?
man? Let's go.
Hey, let's go Cowboys. Prove me wrong and make a run. I don't believe in you right now, so make me believe in you. Go Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Go Cowboys. Guys, have a great rest of your night. We'll see you back here next Saturday as we preview Week 18 against Washington. But until then, Hope you all have a great night. Love y'all. Stay safe.
All right, take care.
Take
Happy
care.
New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year as well. Yes, Happy New Year to you and your family. Have a great night, guys.
Later, man.